What up, it's your Sweet Cheeks Capone, back again for another video. And today I just need to put a little warning on this video. It might be a little bit triggering for some people. Physical endangerment. I'm not gonna say the R word, but there is some unconsensual things I'm gonna be talking about. It's been a while. How's it going? Pretty excited today because I got my belly button re-pierced for like the third time. It's looking pretty good, I think. So today I'm going to be talking about my scariest experiences as a sex worker. Now I'm not going to be going into details about why I chose this line of work or how long I chose this line of work for. Just know that it's not something that should be frowned upon. This video is also not going to be monetizable, obviously. If you did want to help out my channel, I do have an OnlyFans now if you want to check that out. It is onlyfans.com/sweetcheekscapone. There'll be a link down in the description. The first story I'm going to be talking about is one of my first experiences as a sugar baby. I used a sugar daddy searching website, but I would still say it was more escorting work. So this was still at a point in my life where I wasn't ready to tell people what I was doing, and I kept it very hidden, which is dangerous sometimes. I had to take a ferry. I went to the mainland. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. I didn't tell anyone who I was going with, and I didn't tell anyone when I was going to be back. I met up with this man on the other side of the ferry, and he had this big lifted truck. You would think he would have a small penis, but it was pretty average. Obviously the truck had four-wheel drive because he didn't feel the need to obey any street laws. He just thought it was completely okay to run over barriers. And I feel like my body already felt anxious, like I already felt nauseous when I got there, and I already felt like there was something wrong going on. I already felt like I was putting myself in a bad situation, but I went along with it anyways and forced myself to be okay with it, which you should never do. You should always set boundaries for yourself. We started by going to get dinner, and he talked to me about how he wanted to be this mentor for me and how he wanted to support me in like my school and everything that I was doing at the time. I thought that was great because that's what you're supposed to have in a sugar daddy. And then he was like, hold on, I have to go pick up something. So we went to this really dark area of town, and then this guy got into the truck and handed him this little folded up piece of paper, and he handed the guy cash, definitely some kind of illicit substance. So he took me to the casino in like the biggest part of town, big lights, and I had a good time. It was my first casino experience. I had a great time, and then we had to go back to his place, which I was honestly kind of dreading at this point. I felt like I had too much to drink at that point. I wasn't feeling well, and we went back to his room. I did what I was supposed to do, and then something inside me was just like, don't sleep in bed with this guy. He had a guest room, which is where his daughter would stay. So I stayed there for the night, and I remember having to pee so bad, and I could hear him in the bathroom, and I was just like, all I have to do is wait for him to go to work and I can just leave and I'll never have to come back here again. And so that's what I did. I waited until I couldn't hear him anymore. I got up and I took a taxi to the ferry and I left. Story number 2 is kind of a funny one. This particular person, I had met up with him beforehand. I learned that you should have like a pre-meeting where you're in a public space and you're just kind of talking about what you want and what they want. He was very specific about what he wanted me to look like. He wanted me to wear a white shirt, a black skirt, have red lipstick on, and those were the requirements. And so I got to the motel that we were staying at. There was like a loft part to it. Up in the loft, he said he had a gift for me. And so I go up there and there's a bag of La Senza underwear. He said, put one of them on. So I put one of them on. I came down. He asked me to dance for him. So I danced for him and we were grinding. He asked me to go upstairs, take off the panties I was wearing, put on another pair, came down, did the same thing. Then at this point where things were kind of getting hot and heavy, he was like, hold on, I need to call my wife. I sat on the couch. He got up to the kitchen, started talking to his wife, just like he was on a business trip, and that he was talking about how he was with this guy friend, and his wife kept talking about how his son was sick and how he should come home, and he was like, oh, sorry, I can't. And then the conversation ended and he was like, all right, keep going. So I kept going. He kept the underwear. Now the third one is a little bit more iffy. It was much more of a scary experience for me. I didn't think it was a big deal at the time. It definitely affected me more post than it did in the moment. The fourth experience is my last one. I met someone who, you know, I thought we were really clicking. He just really seemed like he was into watching me thrive and succeed. He was in this downtown kind of condo, and it was like right in the middle of all the action. I went up and, you know, we had a couple of great times together. You know, he had been slowly trying to broach the topic that he wasn't making as much money anymore and that he wasn't going to be able to pay me as much anymore, and he kind of subtly took things that he said he was going to do and then didn't do them. We'd gotten takeout food, so I was sitting in front of the TV eating takeout food, and then the fire alarm started going off. He was like, oh, don't worry about it, and then he just kind of got up. Obviously, if he didn't think it was a big deal, I thought, well, maybe this is just what happens. Like, maybe they're testing the fire alarm and it just happens to be this time and he knows. I was sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden I get a text from him. And the text said, I'm outside, the fire department's here, I'm cold, can you bring me my jacket and some weed? What? He was really just about to let me burn in his condo. He didn't know what was going on. He just left me up there. Okay, so that is the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you learned something. Make sure you check out my OnlyFans. There will be a link in the description. Also, in my next video, I'll be announcing the winners of the giveaway, so there's still time to enter. I'll stick the link to the video in the description as well. As usual, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.